PC Gaming Show pela E3. Vamos ver o que é que vem de novidade aí para PC Gaming.
This is the PC Gaming Show, a celebration of the most vibrant gaming platform. For the next 2 hours, you'll see all new gameplay footage, trailers, and interviews. Taking the stage today are first gameplay footage for Vampire the Masquerade, Bloodlines 2, Borderlands 3, the reveal of Evil Genius 2, Starmancer, Last Oasis, 2 new games from Coffee Stain Studios, Griftlands, Planet Zoo, What's Next for Terraria, Remnant from the Ashes, Mosaic, Warframe, Baldur's Gate 3, Shenmue 3,
Boa tarde, Zenix, sala de ouvido.
Unexplored 2, El Hijo, Age of Wonders, Planetfall, and more. And now your PC Gaming Show hosts, Day 9 and Frankie Ward.
Good morning, good morning. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the PC Gaming Show. Yeah, yes. We're so happy you're here today. We have a
Nós estamos muito felizes, nós temos um grande show. 30 jogos que vamos mostrar, 30. Alguns deles
will be updates to existing franchises and titles. Others
são
will be
updates,
exclusive.
outros são exclusivos.
World first looks. Y'all ready?
Yeah!
Well, I first want to thank our sponsors for helping make this event possible. Without their support, this event would not happen each year. So thank you so much. Thanks to you for coming out. It's 10 a.m. in Los Angeles. Happy Monday, everyone. Best day of the week. Hello to all of you up in the balcony. And of course, thanks to you tuning in live from all over the internet, YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, wherever you're tuning in from, welcome. We're happy to have you. My name is Day 9. I'm one of your hosts for this event. Joining me is the fantastic Frankie Ward.
Hello. Oh, thank you very much. Thank you, Sean. Hello, everyone. Now, for you guys at home, for the first time, whatever platform you're watching on, we are going to be pulling your clever comments. Just remember that. I said clever comments from Twitch, Twitter, YouTube, and Facebook throughout the show, making you famous on the internet, on the screen. We're going to be sharing them live. And one of the things we're especially looking for are your questions for the Borderlands 3 team.
Perguntas sobre Borderlands 3.
We've got a mission to put their questions to the developers later.
That's right. Midway through this show, I'm going to be asking those questions to the creative director of Borderlands 3. Use hashtag PC Gaming Show, and we'll read them live. Until then, let's start the PC Gaming Show with our very first title from UK developer Rebellion. Several years ago, they announced that they were working on the follow-up to Evil Genius, a real-time evil layer simulator.
And now, Rebellion is ready to reveal its nefarious vision for the project. So, PC Gaming Show, who's ready to stroke a cat menacingly? Here is the world exclusive reveal for Evil Genius 2 World Domination.
Evil Genius. Primeiro jogo que eles vão mostrar. World Exclusive. World. Não é footage de game mecânica. Não representa game mecânica. Mecânica do jogo. Fala, WD. Brabo. Ai! World Domination. Ok.
Vampire the Masquerade Bloodlines 2 is the
Vampiro a
successor to
Máscara.
one of the most beloved RPGs ever. And with me to talk about it, I have Brian Mitsoda and Cara Ellison from Hardsuit Labs. Now, Brian, you were a writer on the very first game, so what does it mean for you to finally get to work on the sequel?
It means that a lot of people have very high expectations, and we have to
Muitas
meet
pessoas
those.
estão com expectativas muito
Well,
altas.
let's take a look at whether you are going to meet them, because we are going to take a look at the world's first gameplay footage.
Opa! Jogo. Vampiro a Máscara, cara, é um jogo de RPG criado pelo Mark Henhagen, é um dos jogos mais jogados de RPG do mundo, do sistema chamado Storytelling. Storyteller na época, que virou
Guess I have to be
Storytelling.
the one to tell you.
Os personagens jogam com personagens vampiros e
You're
tal.
dead.
World of Darkness, que é
You're
a empresa
obviously
que
new to this
produz o
whole
RPG.
existence, but truth is, most of you types won't even make it a whole year.
Muitos de vocês não vai durar um ano.
We have one rule.
Nós temos
You
uma
don't
regra.
break the masquerade.
Você não pode quebrar a máscara. Alimente seu poder. Domine a noite, ou seja dono da
This
noite.
city. We're all
Cidade.
fighting over scraps here.
Welcome to the first day of the rest of your death. Having fun yet?
Primeiro dia do resto da sua morte, ó. Não sei muito o que pensar. Mostrou pouco. Queria ter visto mais. Queria ter visto aí uns 3 minutos de jogo, 4.
Guys, what does it mean
Criação
to
de
be a
personagens,
vampire in
é.
this world?
So in the Empire, what it is, it's kind of a darker version of our world, and the
Uma versão
vampires kind of need to
escura,
keep
né?
their
Dark
presence
version.
secret
Nossa,
from humanity. So
ok.
the
Os
vampires
vampiros têm que
are
manter sua
kind
presença escondida da
of
humanidade,
staying hidden in the shadows, while
manter nas
also
sombras,
needing to feed on human beings and
se
kind of
alimentar
manipulating
das
us,
pessoas, meio que
in order to
manipular as
get blood.
pessoas.
We're talking about feeding on human beings. I'm getting flashbacks to last year's show.
Outros clãs, ó,
Cara,
vem True
it's not just a case, though,
Bruhá.
of sucking blood and filling up your health meter, is it? Actually,
jogaria
different
de
types of
Bruhá,
blood do different
certeza.
things.
That's right. So we have the resonance system, which means that essentially vampires can kind
Vampiros.
of see the emotional resonance of human beings.
Pode ver as
like
emoções,
fear or
medo.
desire.
Isso é uma disciplina, já um poder chamado
feed on
auspícios.
those people to like
Pode se
feel the
alimentar,
same things as human beings do, to feel more kind of alive.
É, mas não
And
são
that
todas
can
as
give you, like,
disciplinas que
extra
fazem
boosts
isso.
in the game.
And there were some really interesting characters in that trailer as well. What kind of relationships are we going to be forming with them as the player?
Well, very fragile, very volatile relationships, very mature
Maduro.
relationships. So it's going to be a fun time.
And one thing that was really intriguing to me when I was learning about this game is you don't just get bitten and turn into Nosferatu, Dracula, or Brad Pitt. And to be honest, I think you should maybe put Brad Pitt into the game, because then I'm definitely playing it. You actually have to adjust
Fala
to
que se o
your
Brad Pitt
environment to
tiver no
becoming a
jogo, ela vai
vampire,
jogar.
Clara.
That's right. So essentially, in the game, when you were
Essencialmente,
made
você no
as a
jogo, quando você é
vampire,
transformado
sort
num
of,
vampiro,
sort of very young vampire, a
você é
lot of
vampiro
other
jovem.
vampires are made at the
Outros
same time,
vampiros se aparecem ao
in
mesmo
this thing
tempo.
called the mass embrace. And that means
Que é
that
chamada de abraço,
essentially
né? Você é
they're
abraçado.
having a less lucky
Você
time
tem-
than you in the world. You're having a relatively good time compared to them because they don't know what they're doing. They're going through vampire puberty on their own, and you might have a family, you might have, say, a wife and children,
Você pode ter
and
família,
you're
você
morally
pode ter-
objecting to drinking blood
Você
to
pode ter que
survive.
tomar
And so
sangue para
they have a less
sobreviver,
good
então você
time,
acaba
let's
tendo
say,
esse tipo
than the players
de
having.
horror.
So you can find them throughout the world as well.
And Brian,
Tem que
the first
estar
game
entre
came
os
out in
dois mundos, né?
2004.
O que
You've been
os vampiros chamam de
15 years
a
for this.
fome, no caso,
Any
você tem que
pressure?
lidar com isso, com a besta
Yeah,
interior do
tons of
vampiro, né?
pressure. But
No jogo de RPG.
yeah, we're going to make it worth it.
Well, you know what?
Vamos
I
fazer
think there
valer
are
a
people
pena.
around the world watching this, and of course the audience here, and they all can't wait to play this game. Can you wait,
Eu
guys?
também. Eu tô muito ansioso. Só que assim, o vampiro,
So I
ele,
think you've
eu espero que eles não tenham
convinced
transformado o
everyone
vampiro
here
à
now. When are we
massa
gonna be
num
able
jogo de
to play the
ação, porque não é isso.
We're going Q1 next year.
Fantastic. And when can we learn more?
Bloodlines2.com.
Thank you so much, Brian and Cara. Good luck. Give it up, guys.
Ok.
So much.
Ok, eu confesso a vocês que é um jogo que eu
Have
vou
you
jogar.
ever wanted to play Dwarf Fortress in space? Starmancer is a space station sim from Ominux Games and Chucklefish. After a catastrophe on Earth, humanity has
Após a
launched a
catástrofe na
desperate attempt to
Terra,
find
as
refuge among
pessoas
the
têm que
stars.
achar refúgio
Your task is to
através
manage a
das
colony
estrelas.
capable of sustaining life,
Você tem que
crafting
encontrar uma
components,
colônia,
controlling colonists, and sending out
juntar
crews to mine
componentes que
asteroids.
seja possível
But when you're living
para
in
manter as
space,
pessoas
there
vivas
can be
nos
big
asteroides.
consequences for even the smallest mistakes.
Qualquer
Let's take a look at the
pode
brand
ter
new
grandes
gameplay
consequências
of
para
Star
qualquer
Master.
erro pequeno. Beleza, vamos ver aí. Chucklefish. Ominox. There's been a glitch. Oh my god. What? Isométrico? Cresça em sua colônia. Ah, não, não é que não, velho. Ah, não, velho. Por que não um estilo, sei lá, Diablo, né, doidos? Boneco massa. Porra, velho. Joguinho isométrico de estratégia, construção de coisa e tal. Preserve vida. Nossa, amigos. E inimigos. Prepare-se para ser destruído. Eu gosto de jogo isométrico, cara, mas tipo, fosse estilo Cyberpunk ou Shadowrun, fosse mais no estilo Diablo, seria melhor, sabe? Divinity, né? R10 de
Our
Tibia.
next guests both started as modders, and now they each independently run their own studio. Let's welcome to the stage, from Tripwire, John Gibson, and from Torn Banner, Steve Piggott.
Hey, Sean.
Now I understand. Both you started as modders, working independently, running your own studios. Talk to me about the collaboration that you started together.
Yeah, Steve. So we've known the Torn Banner guys for a long time, even giving them some advice when they were modders, going commercial, helping them not make the mistakes that we made. And we've been friends, and we've always wanted to work together. And now we've sort of formed this independent, former mod team, professional super group to get an awesome game out to fans.
Yeah, and for us, this is a dream partnership as well. We've always been really close with Tripwire, and we really respect their games. We see them as one of the few studios that's bringing true innovation to the FPS genre, and that's what we're all about as well.
Well, let's take a look at this upcoming collaboration between Torn Banner and Tripwire.
Vamos ver o que é que vai vir a colaboração desses dois estúdios aí. War Exclusive.
You go first. It's your chicken.
Eita, pô! Caraca, com a cabeça do outro, viado! A peste! Chivalry 2. Violenta a parada, viu? Lutas medievais são... Ai, meu Deus do céu, o que é isso? Pra que isso, mano?
Talk to me about Chivalry 2,
Chivalry.
Steve.
Well, Chivalry 2 is about bringing players into their favorite medieval movie battle scenes. And our flagship
né?
game mode, Team Objective, does that by having players complete medieval objectives like sieging castles, raiding villages.
São objetivos tipo de tomar vilas, fazer siege em castelos, time contra
you're not
time.
just going and standing in an area and then
Você não vai ficar parado.
You're, like you said, burning houses, killing
Tocar fogo,
peasants,
matar
you know,
Que horror, velho.
playing as peasants, getting killed.
It's really about letting the player experience every iconic moment of the era. And on top of that, this time around, we've increased the player count scale to about 2.5 times what the previous game was. 64 players. And
64
on top of that
players,
increased scale, we've added horses, which really allows us to add a lot of drama to the game and bring experiences like the Battle of the Bastards from Game of Thrones.
Don't worry, we'll ignore last season. Just Battle of the Bastards is going to be in the game.
Yes.
All right, so I want to ask about the swordplay element to Chivalry 2. I mean, I know it's a really critical element.
Yeah, and this time around, we've completely revamped. I mean, we really view what we're doing here as bringing a true sequel in every sense.
Yeah.
We've attempted to completely revamp the combat, movement, and animation systems so that every swing, every action of the combat feels readable and fair, and also has the satisfaction of and the weight that you would expect when two medieval knights in full armor are clashing.
Yeah, and it's very, very fluid and much more accessible than the previous game. And it's, you know, the pace is so much quicker. It was what I really enjoy when I'm playing it.
Yeah, and I wanted to ask about the fluidity, because in a lot of melee combat games, you hit a button and there's like a full animation swing and then you sort of reset. So it's kind of these discrete, chunky times. I understand that in Chivalry 2, the swordplay operates differently than that.
Yeah, we kind of think of it like when you're swimming, where you're kind of constantly using both arms at the same time. And a core part of our focus this time around has been making it so that players can fight multiple opponents at the same time.
Like Pedro Lopes, boa tarde.
Exactly, because that's fundamentally part of the becoming the ultimate warrior fantasy and achieving glory on the battlefield.
Well, I mean, I do have to ask, we're talking about swordplay and mastery,
primeiro flopou pra caramba, né?
The original Chivalry, I mean, it's kind of like silly fun. Like, how do you balance the mastery with the fun element?
Yeah, our goal has always been to make it so that players can take the game as seriously as they want to and also as silly as they want to. We know that probably about half our audience plays the game drunk. And we love that.
Galera joga o jogo bêbado.
At least half. Yeah.
That's an important metric to track.
And the game has a huge influence from Monty Python as well. I mean, in the over-the-top voiceovers and the role-playing opportunities. I mean, the game is genuinely hilarious. As an example, you can beat a man with a chicken while quoting Shakespeare.
Like, so like picking up a chicken is a weapon.
Physically
that's a
clubbing
mechanic.
him to death with
Well, that's excellent. Well, I mean, I have to ask, when can people get their hands on Chivalry 2?
So Chivalry 2 is coming out early 2020, and it's coming first to the Epic Games Store.
Oh, look forward to checking it out in early 2020. Gentlemen, John Gibson and Steve Piggott with Chivalry 2. Thank you so much.
Rapaz, Pedro, aqui nós estamos
acompanhando
a
here at the
E3.
PC Gaming Show. Let's take a look at what's coming up
acompanhando
next.
a E3 aqui, né? Acompanhando o que vai vir de lançamento
You're
para
watching the
PC
Gaming Show.
Caso é a conferência de jogos de PC.
Coming up.
Agora mais tarde às 5 horas teremos a
Build
conferência
a world
da
for
Ubisoft.
wildlife in Planet Zoo. From the creators of Darksiders, Remnant from the Ashes, Baldur's Gate 3,
Baldur's
and more
Gate,
trailers, interviews, and gameplay footage.
Baldur's Gate, hein? Baldur's Gate. Baldur's Gate é um clássico praticamente, velho. Um clássico. Baldur's Gate 2 foi muito jogado. What the fuck? Whoa. Ó, esse tipo de jogo eu acho interessante, velho. Que você percebe que ele tem uma estética diferente, mas é proposital, tá entendendo? É a proposta do jogo. Mosaico. 2019.
That was a brand new trailer for Mosaic, a dark and atmospheric adventure game coming later this year from developer Killbyte and publisher Raw
Jogo de
Fury.
aventura, hein?
So how are you guys enjoying it so far? There's been some swords, some space stations, vampire puberty. We're listening to your reactions to the PC Gaming Show throughout the entire broadcast, no matter what platform you're watching and ranting on, so keep them coming. Our next game is a ghost-themed multiplayer hide-and-seek game inspired by a popular mod. Charge up your proton packs and get ready for Midnight Ghost Hunt.
Tá o quê? Midnight Ghost Hunt, é isso que eu entendi? Foi isso que eu entendi? Coffee Stain. Vaulted Sky.
There's only you and me. night falls, you can count on me.
Jesus.
Darling,
fantasma,
if
né?
you only knew,
Caça fantasma, velho.
it'll make you feel brand new. So just tell me where are you? I got a big surprise for you.
Eita! Pera aí, você joga com o fantasma ou com os caras, mano? Que jogo louco, velho.
I got a big
Midnight Ghost Hunt.
surprise for you.
Não. Não sei se jogar isso, não.
Joining me on the stage to talk about Midnight Ghost
Falar
Hunt
sobre Midnight Ghost Hunt.
is
Me
the
lembra
dynamic
os
one-man
jogos
team,
tipo Dead by Daylight, essas coisas assim,
creative
né? Que
director,
interpreta
programmer,
monstro,
designer,
mostra a
it's
galera
Sam
que fugir, essas
Malone.
coisas.
Thank you for having me.
Me lembra esse tipo de jogo, assim.
Sam, please tell us
favor,
what is
nos
going
fale,
on
o que
in
tá
that.
acontecendo?
What is Midnight Ghost
O
Hunt
que é
all
Midnight
about?
Ghost Hunt?
So Midnight Ghost Hunt is a
Midnight Ghost Hunt,
multiplayer ghost hunting hide and seek
Ghost Hunt,
game.
hide and
You
seek
can play
game.
either as ghosts or ghost hunters, like a 4v4
É
format.
exatamente isso aí.
The ghosts can
4
hide
contra
inside
4.
average everyday objects around the haunted house. The goal is to look like
Exatamente
harmless
o que eu falei.
furniture, but on the inside, they're not
É
so harmless
exatamente o que eu
ghosts,
falei.
as you saw.
É um jogo de
Yeah, and if I'm
esconde-esconde.
understanding
Uma galera
correctly,
joga
it's not
com os
about
fantasmas, outra galera joga com os
hiding as a
caçadores de
lamp
fantasmas.
to
Um
try
tem
to
que pegar
assault
o
and
outro.
take out a
Estilo Dead
hunter.
by
It's
Daylight.
actually, you would do that so that way you can keep running away and continue to hide.
Exactly. So the main objective of the ghosts is to try to stay hidden as long as they can until the time runs out, until the clock strikes midnight.
O objetivo é ficar escondido até meia-noite.
Basically,
A hora do
they
jogo
can
dos
fight
fantasmas.
back if they like, but in general, they want to try to hide. But if there's a hunter kind of off by himself,
Mas
you
tem
can
os
quickly just hit him in the
caçadores e
back of the
tal.
head and knock him out real quick, and he has less hunters to deal with at that point.
See. Well, what's the identity of the hunters? I mean, we've been seeing furniture flying all over the place. What are the hunters doing?
So the hunters, it kind of can be divided into two different segments. The first part of the game is kind of almost like a detective game because they're sort of trying to figure out where the ghosts are hiding because it's not really obvious at first glance. So they've got gadgets like a footprint tracker, they've got like a radar like you saw, to try to narrow down where in the haunted house these ghosts are hiding, basically. As soon as the first ghost is found, though, it starts getting a bit more chaotic. There's ragdolls flying everywhere, and they have that cannon to really try to smash the ghosts into pieces. So those are kind of the two aspects of the ghosts.
I see. Well, talk to me a little bit about the inspiration for Midnight Ghost Hunt. I understand it's based
inspiração,
on Gary's mod called Prop Hunt.
Right. So that's definitely a big inspiration, but the big twist for us is that the props fight back. You saw the furniture, they hurl themselves at you, they knock you out, they send you flying. So it kind of almost becomes like this action hide-and-seek sort of mashup. You have a reason to be a little bit afraid of the things that you're hunting. So that changes up the dynamic a good amount.
Só que tem uma
And I want
dinâmica
to ask about
diferente.
when
Tal.
the clock strikes midnight. We saw the very spooky red color pop up. We didn't see what happens then.
Ele tá falando do
What's
final,
going on?
aquela luz
So
vermelha. O que
midnight, if
acontece?
even one ghost survives, 4
Se
minutes into the
fantasma
match, then you hear this
sobreviver,
ominous grandfather clock chime across the map. All the lights will actually flicker out. It'll get really dark and scary, and all of the ghosts that were destroyed actually return as vengeful spirits. They're a lot more powerful than before, and they glow a very brilliant red. So at this point,
Se
the
tiver pelo
tables have
menos
turned.
vivo,
The hunters
eles,
are now the
os fantasmas
hunted,
que foram destruídos
and they just need to
voltam
try to
como
work
espíritos
together to
vingativos,
stay
com a cor
alive long enough for
vermelha
the
e mais
evac to
poderosa.
come, which is another 4 minutes or so. Usually the ghosts win
Vai ter mais
when it gets
4
to
minutos de
midnight.
Are you
jogo.
talking like 90% of the time?
Like
wind up
nine,
something
yeah,
like
usually
that?
because the ghosts are so overpowered at midnight.
Right.
The hunters are doing whatever they can to try to prevent midnight from even occurring.
Então
by
o
destroying
objetivo
all
dos
right
caras que estão
rails and clearing
caçando é
the house.
não deixar chegar meia-noite. Que
Well,
chegar
awesome.
meia-noite deu
When
merda,
can
os
people
fantasmas
get the
provavelmente vão
chance
estar mais
to
poderosos e vão
try
ganhar o
out
jogo.
Midnight Ghost Hunt?
So we'll be running an alpha event later in the summer.
Vai,
You can sign up at
no verão.
midnightghosthunt.com. I'd also like to give a
Vai
shout out to our
pra
Discord,
alpha.
discord.gg/midnightghosthunt.
Aí são os
Later in the
pontos
summer, we'll be
contatos.
giving out keys on our Discord as well as on our main website.
Wonderful.
Vão
Ladies and
distribuir
gentlemen, Sam
chaves, hein,
Malone.
galera? Vão distribuir
Vault of
chaves tanto
Sky
no
Games.
Discord como no site. Eu
For our
não gosto
next
desse tipo de
title,
jogo.
we got Frankie up in the balcony, and if I understand correctly, Frankie, this is a sequel.
You do understand
sequência, hein?
correctly, Sean, yes. It's a big sequel to a small indie game. Unexplored 2 is a procedural adventure, a roguelike that challenges you to fight, to be clever, and to solve its mysteries. Explore a beautiful world, engage with its creatures, and befriend its people. Search for magic lakes and ancient statues until you die. And die again. This is Unexplored 2.
Explore 2. Vamos ver. Esse tipo de jogo de esconde-esconde, tipo Dead by Daylight, Sexta-feira 13, não é o tipo de jogo que eu gosto de jogar, sabe? Eu acho bem chatinho, na verdade. Um jogo conceitual, meio indie, né? Eita, enfrenta os bichos, mano. Urra! Morreu. Ah, os lobos, corre, velho. Bonito o cenário, velho. Pra caramba. Unexplored 2. Inexplorados. Aí o cara vai falar do Unexplored.
One of the biggest bang for your buck that you can get when building a new rig is investing in a new monitor. And here to talk about a groundbreaking new display is Samsung's Dean Dalcero. Welcome, Dean. What you got for us?
Samsung C27 RG5 curved gaming monitor.
Well, let's take a look.
Tabela! 240 Hz, cara. Uhum. 240 Hz. Erro! $3.000 por 1 de contraste. Fala, meu Jesus, viado. Curvo. Meu Deus.
Dean, we've seen the video, and I gotta start asking. Talk to me about some of those juicy features and specs.
So it's a 240 hertz curved gaming panel. We believe it's a world first. So you have lag-free and tear-free performance. And we think that the curve, its 1500 art radius, is going to be a very immersive experience that you wouldn't get from a traditional flat panel.
And I wanted to ask a little bit about some of the color specs.
Sure, it's a 3000:1 contrast ratio, so you get those deeper blacks, brighter whites, and hopefully you'll see your enemies first before they see you in the dark scenes.
Yeah, and I understand it also has G-Sync. I saw that flash up on the screen as well.
First G-Sync compatible monitor, so we're super excited about that.
Well, since this is the PC Gaming Show and we're showing off a huge variety of games here, what are the types of games that you would expect that 240 hertz refresh rate and the G-Sync to work well with?
Sure, so we think everybody's going to appreciate the speed and the performance, but ultimately, esports first-person shooters are really going to benefit.
Right. Well, of course, I have to
Falando
ask,
de jogos de
not
primeira
just
pessoa, jogo
when
de
is it
tiro,
available, but
obviamente vai
what
ter
type of
vantagem.
cost are we talking?
Sure, so it'll be available in mid-July for under $400 for a 27-inch panel. So it expands our gaming lineup to 8 models. Yeah.
Because when you said 400, I mean, that's the 27-inch is the $400 mark. Wow.
Yeah, so our gaming lineup will be expanded to 8 models, ranging from 24 all the way up to a 49-inch dual QHD. Check out samsung.com/gaming240 or see us in the back of the room for more info.
Yeah, that's right. For any of you in the audience, it's there. You can go there for it.
It is not 4K.
It's not 4K.
Not for that price point.
Não é 4K, não
Well,
é 4K.
I want to let you know that we have all sorts of great presentations and games coming up. Let's look at what's coming up in the PC Gaming Show.
Não é em 4K, vai
Stay
custar
tuned for
$400,
more announcements, trailers, and never before seen
$400,
footage, including
R$1.600, quase 2.000
Gearbox answers burning questions
Vai
about
ser mais de 2.000
Borderlands
aqui.
3,
Nossa.
the next game from Clay Entertainment. Get ready to rip the galaxy a new wormhole in Valfaris, and more.
And more.
And now the PC Gaming Show presents What's Next from Funcom.
Vamos ver o que é que vem aí.
Hello, everyone. Thanks for the warm
tudo bom?
applause.
Obrigado.
It's very exciting for all of us at Funcom to be here at the PC Gaming Show for the very first time ever.
Natasha Hossler.
And naturally, we would like to show some of the cool stuff that we've been working on. So, without further ado, here are some of the games coming for 2019.
Jogos que vão vir para 2019, vamos ver.
Something strange is going on all across the zone. I don't fear nothing.
Mutant Year Zero é legal, velho. É um jogo isométrico de turn-based. É um jogo interessante.
A lot's happened since you've been traveling, Khan. We could use your skills.
Stalkers got each other's backs, right? What happens to you happens to me.
Que é isso aí, meu? Conan. Ah, mas jogo de estratégia, né? Wave 5. Wave 15. Eita pau. Eu não sei jogar esse tipo de jogo, velho. Eita, mano. Moons of Madness. Esse jogo aí pro Halloween 2019 é o jogo que eu tinha ouvido falar já e eu achei que vai ser interessante. Joguinho de horror aí saindo, né, ó. Oh my God! Eita, é meio cutuliano isso daí, sabe, cara? Pra quem não conhece, o universo chamado de Cthulhu, do HP Lovecraft, ele tem essa vibe, esse jogo, sabe? Abismo Infinito é um outro jogo interessante de RPG que tem essa vibe aí. Criaturas extraplanares e tudo mais.
Please welcome to the stage, founder and
Esse
director
Moons
of
of
Mighty
Madness
Kingdom,
eu acho que eu vou
Philip
atrás de
Mays.
jogar. Que é esse cara?
So yeah, at Funcom we've been doing our own games for over 26 years now. But recently we had the great pleasure to be working with some other very talented developers and help them publish their games. And on that note, I'd like to introduce Phil Mays. He is founder of Mighty Kingdom, a studio out of Australia, who has been working with us on something a little different.
Vai nos trazer algo diferente.
So on April 1st this year, we put out a little trailer for something called Conan Chop Chop. And considering the date, it was perhaps no surprise that people decided that was an April Fool's joke. So yeah, we have a little surprise for you. Check this out.
Conan Chop Chop. Ok, vamos ver. Talvez o melhor jogo de Conan até agora. Jogo que não é real, mas provavelmente poderia ser. Deixaria Legend of Zelda orgulhoso.
So there you have it, Conan Chop Chop. It's a roguelike action-adventure game. It's very real, and it's coming to PC, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, and Nintendo Switch on September the 3rd this year. It's 2019. We also have a playable version here at E3 at our demo room, so if you want to give stick figure Conan a try, then please don't hesitate to drop by. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Melhor jogo de Conan.
Last Oasis is a nomadic survival game set in a post-apocalyptic future where the Earth has stopped rotating. The last humans need to outrun the blazing sun in massive open-world environments. Good times. But cheer up, sunshine. This is one of the most original-looking multiplayers we've seen, with interesting ideas underneath. A player-driven economy and some truly incredible death machines. Coming to early access on Steam on July 15th. Let's take a trip to the last
15 de julho. Vai estar disponível na Steam como Early Access.
We must move forward or die beneath the sun.
Temos que seguir adiante ou morrer debaixo do sol. Eita, mano, olha. Corre, mano. Os caras vão te raidar. Que onda. Bufo! Tempestade muito louca aí. Last Oasis. Interessante. Gostei. A ideia é legal. Visualmente o jogo agrada. Age of Wonders, Planetfall. Esse Age of Wonders já existe, né? Se eu não me engano. Jogo de estratégia. Cyborg, dinossauro com laser. Max Gigante, tá ok. 6 de agosto, bora! Your turn count. Um jogo baseado em turnos. Planetfall. Age of Wonders.
The name of the game is Age of Wonders Planetfall, a 4X strategy game, and joining me on the stage to talk about it is the game director, Leonard Sass, and principal gameplay developer, Tom Bird. Welcome, guys. Good to be here. So, Leonard, just give us the gist of what Age of Wonders Planetfall is all about.
Sure. Age of Wonders is a turn-based strategy game where you play as one of the survivors of a shattered galactic empire. At the start of the game, you choose or create your own faction. Yeah. And they include the Vanguard Expeditionary Forces, who are in cryosleep when everything went to hell. There's scavenging cyborgs, or the Amazon bioengineers who ride dinosaurs into battle.
Yeah. You know, I want to ask, because there's a pretty broad range of 4X strategy games. To give a sense of what the gameplay is, I just want to start from the beginning of a game. What happens when you first land on the planet?
Well, each race has their own spaceship. The spaceship comes down onto the planet. The planet is where the entire game takes place. And that spaceship will then transform into your capital colony, where your entire empire begins, your sort of attempt to take over the world. Around you, you've got a number of sectors, and each of these sectors has a little story. Well, not most of them. So maybe you'll find a genetics lab, which is still full of horrible mutant creatures, an entertainment complex overrun by horrible robot monsters, a temple with holes in the sky and horrible demons who come and get you.
And I did see in the trailer dinosaurs with lasers, correct?
Dinosaurs with lasers.
Perfect. Well,
cats with lasers. No, sorry, no cats with lasers.
I'm so sorry to disappoint all of you. No cats with lasers. You have to settle with dinosaurs. You know, I saw the expansive tech tree show up in the game briefly, and I know that growing resources and tech is a huge part of strategy games. How does that function?
Right, so part of these tech trees come from your origin race. They sort of represent the past of where you came from. They include new units, new modules for your units, like jetpacks for your troopers, orbital laser cannons you can launch from space, social doctrines, it's not all about war. And then the second part of your tech tree comes from your secret technology, and that's all about the future of your faction. So you can create like a combination between man and machine or man and computers. Others include doomsday technologies that allows you to infect the entire population with alien brain-eating parasites. Or win the game by
jogo de tudo de estratégia, você tem bocado de coisinha pra fazer, cavalgar dinossauro, fazer mech, não sei o quê, mas resumidamente é um tudo de estratégia e pronto. Tem que vencer o outro com estratégia.
In a lot of strategy games, the combat can be very brief. It just, shows two armies pinging off each other. But I understand that the tactical layer is quite rich.
Right, so when combat starts, you'll see, like on the world map, maybe like a little sort of space lab or something like that. When you go into combat, you will zoom all the way in, and you will be inside the lab. You'll see all the pipes and all of the goops flowing around. All of your units, which you've been putting together and built, are now deployed. In turn-based combat, you can move them into cover, use their abilities, shoot laser cannons. Maybe you've chosen advanced, so you've got like a bunch of space dwarves in little metal suits that dig holes in the ground, like shoot from the holes. Maybe you've chosen the Kirko, sort of horrible alien bug monsters. They run forwards and slash people and puke acid on them, that kind of thing.
I mean, how long do some of these battles wind up lasting?
It depends. A short battle can be maybe 2 or 3 minutes, but at the end of the game, you've got a massive siege with like 20 units on your side, 20 units on their side. You've got orbital cannons blasting holes in the world, and that can maybe take 30 minutes.
Well, talk to us about when we can play the game.
Okay. The game is due this August 6th. It's going to be available on PC, multiple platforms, consoles, and it's available for pre-order now.
E já pode fazer pre-order.
What's that URL?
It's aow-planetfall.com.
Well, I'm looking forward to it. It's less than 2 months away. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me up on
Thank
stage.
you.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye, guys.
Thank you for sharing the horrors of the future. And for our next game, Frankie, I have to ask you, what year is it?
Why, the year is 1946, Sean, my dear boy. Europe lies in ruins torn apart by the satanic Plan Z. A brave band of heroes cast the Fuhrer into hell, but little do they know, the nightmare is far from over. Achtung! This is the world-exclusive reveal of the next shooter from the makers of Sniper Elite 4.
Sniper Elite! Oh! Sniper Elite 4, hein?
Rated M for mature.
Agora eu quero ver. Vai tomar um HS aí bonito, viu, mano? Eita porra, é do time. Quê? Você chama dela. beleza. Tá beleza. Sniper Elite 4 zumbi. Tá beleza. Ah, Zombie Army, Dead War. Não, nada de sniper. É uma... Dos criadores de Sniper.
Later on the PC Gaming Show. A love letter to classic JRPGs. What's next for Warframe? A surreal noir adventure set before, during, and after the Big Bang. Baldur's Gate 3, and more.
O que é que vai ter? Porque se for só o trailer, eu já vi o trailer, então bora.
For nearly 100 years, the root have ravaged the earth.
Raiz tomou conta.
An unending assault without reason.
Sem motivo nenhum.
We are victims to a hatred that we do not understand. This evil will consume our world and the countless worlds beyond. Unless you rise
a não ser que você se levante pra tipo derrotá-lo.
By fury and blood. You seek the source of death itself.
Remnant from the ashes.
Joining me on the stage
Paulinho
to talk
Game
about
TV,
Remnant
Wendel
from the
Oliveira, muito
Ashes.
obrigado
In
pela
that
presença,
trailer,
galera. Muito
we
obrigado
got
por
the
estar
chance to
acompanhando
see
aqui a
so
PC
much
Gaming
new
Show.
gameplay footage and new environments.
Night
Let's
Race.
welcome the CEO of Gunfire Games, David Adams.
David Adams, falar sobre Remnant.
So David, I want to ask right away, for those who are unfamiliar with Remnant from the Ashes, what kind of game is it?
So Remnant's a co-op action shooter
Co-op
set on an
action
apocalyptic
shooter.
Earth and across a bunch of cool
Tiro cooperativo.
And I mean, in that trailer, we got the chance to see a huge variety of different environments. Like, what are these different places? Who's the player in this story?
So as a player, you're on sort of an Odyssey-like quest to save the world, and we really wanted to have a bunch of different cool locales that you go to just to experience a bunch of different stuff. And you start on Earth, but it rapidly changes very quickly as you get into the game.
And one thing that we've talked about before is that replayability is a huge focus of the game, that you could play through it 10 times and still be seeing new bosses, new monsters, new locations. How exactly does that work?
Yeah, I think one of the coolest features of the game is the dynamic generation system. So we generate the maps, the enemies, the quests, NPCs, bosses, everything.
You built those all by hand, right?
Yeah, it's all hand scripted, but the system takes all the pieces and stitches it together. So you might play the game and come into work and say, hey, I talked to a giant tree and fought a dragon boss, and I'll be like, I met a guy in a helicopter, an old guy in a helicopter, and killed a tree ant. And we'd have completely different experiences playing the same game.
And you just have to keep going through and eventually explore what all the possibilities are.
Yeah, you can play the game over and over again to see the stuff.
Porque eles fizeram o script das coisas e elas podem ficar aleatórias durante o jogo. Então você pode ter uma experiência diferente.
I want to ask about loot, which is, I understand, a big part of the game. How does it function alongside this ever-shifting gameplay experience?
Yeah, the loot in the game is all legendary items, and it's tied into the dynamic generation. So if you fight a boss or meet an NPC or get a cool, unique side quest, it generally coincides with a cool, unique item. It might be a boss weapon or a magical item or armor. So if you play the game and you get all completely different events, you'll have different equipment than I have.
And in the trailer, I also saw that there were 3 people walking through these, and you mentioned the co-op experience. How does co-op function in the world?
So the game's full co-op from beginning to end. You can jump in at any point, and the game's definitely slower paced, more difficult. I mean, you will die a lot in this game, so
awesome.
There's a huge advantage to bringing your friends to come in there and help you take down bosses or fight off different events or just generally progress through the world.
Yeah, well, I mean, as a big fan of Bloodborne and Dark Souls, I'm really looking forward to Remnant from the Ashes. What's the release date, and where can people go for more information?
So Remnant's coming out August 20th on PC and Xbox and PS4. And if you pre-order the game now, you can actually get in early and start playing the game August 16th.
Well, awesome. Ladies and gentlemen, David Adams from Gunfire Games.
Cara, ele falou assim, eu sou fã de Dark Souls e tal. Ele tá dizendo que esse jogo é meio Souls-like.
Keep those questions coming. I will be asking on stage the creative director of Borderlands 3 everything you want to know.
Borderlands 3.
Doesn't matter what platform you're on, just use hashtag PC Gaming Show. And until that time, let's talk about our next title. This one was announced 2 years ago at the PC Gaming Show here. It's a game
Foi anunciado há
from Play
2 anos.
Entertainment called Griftlands. It's changed quite a bit in the last 2 years. It's now a deck-building roguelike where you don't just fight, but you also negotiate your way through a broken-down sci-fi world. It's going to be available on the Epic Game Store in 1 short month on July 11th in Alpha. Let's take a look at some of the footage of what you'll be playing.
Alpha. Vamos ver o gameplay dele. Vou jogar esse aí, né?
Planet Zoo is the latest game from the makers of the brilliant Planet Coaster. Please welcome Piers Jackson and Lisa Bowens from Frontier Developments. Now, Piers, what kind of zoo are we going to be running here?
Planet Zoo is a new management sim game from us. It involves you building and looking after a modern zoo, and you get to look after the most authentic animals we believe you've ever seen in a video game. Each of our animals are unique. They have their own needs, their own desires, and their own behaviours. They interact with each other and react with the world that you build around them. And today, for the very first time, we're really excited to be able to show everyone here our gameplay video and to announce our launch date.
Well, fantastic. Let's buy the world's largest family pass and take a look inside.
Para começo de conversa, eu não quero ter um zoológico. Eu vou começar o jogo e soltar os bichos tudo na natureza, que é onde eles devem estar. Tu tá de brincadeira com a minha cara, velho. Vou soltar os bichos tudo, pronto, zerei.
So nowadays when you go to the zoo, you're not just going to see all the lovely, pretty animals. You go there, you want to be, you know, learning about conservation, you want to learn about the research that they're doing, you want to be educated. And these are all things that you're going to be able to do in Planet Zoo. And these ideas of the modern zoo is really what we take to heart, and we're going to be promoting, you know, the health and the welfare of your animals as the most important thing to do.
And Piers, when can we see more gameplay, and when are we going to be able to get our hands on it ourselves?
So we're obviously demoing the game all this week at E3, but most people aren't going to be able to see that. So we've recorded our presentation. Lisa's done a fantastic voiceover for it, and we'll be releasing that onto Frontier's YouTube channel. That goes live this Friday at 11 a.m. Pacific time.
Well, fantastic. I cannot wait to watch. Thank you so much for joining us. Piers and
Eu não
Lisa, everyone.
Não posso esperar para
We
ver.
have a very special guest all the way from Japan.
Please welcome to the stage gaming industry legend and Shenmue creator, Yu Suzuki.
That is right. Ladies and gentlemen, joining me on the stage is a legend of Japanese game development. It's Mr. Yu Suzuki.
Yu Suzuki.
Hello, everyone.
In addition to being the brains behind the following games, Hang On, Space Harrier, Outrun, Afterburner, Virtual Racing, and Virtual Fighter, Yusan also created the Shenmue series, and he's here to talk about Shenmue 3 right now. Take it away, Yusan.
O nome do outro cara, macho.
この場に立てて光栄です。
É o tradutor.
Standing on the stage today.
Eu estou muito feliz de
そ
estar
れ
aqui.
と20年支えてくれたファンの皆さん、ありがとう。
Obrigado.
I just want to say thank you to all the fans supporting me for the long 20 years. Thank you very much.
20 anos, muito obrigado.
The wait is nearly over.
That's right. Let's take a world exclusive look at Shenmue 3.
Opa, Shenmue 3, hein? Shenmue 3, hein?
Honestly, I don't think your kung fu is strong enough.
Kung fu é bom o suficiente.
Grandmaster,
Grande mestre, eu.
A long time ago, martial arts were bad, but humans are interesting creatures. They practiced in secret, away from prying eyes, and became stronger. One even practiced atop this very boat. Non-Tread survived the ban and was passed on in this way.
Pau do mestre aí. Shenmue 3.
What did you say to me?
O que você disse?
Stop it.
Pare.
They threaten and extort money from shop owners, get drunk by noon, and cause trouble. Everyone in town is afraid of them.
They are heartless. Hey, wait right there.
Vai daí, mano.
Okay.
This is him, the Japanese guy who got in our way.
You've got some guts to barge in here on your own.
Eu tenho muito ovo que vir aqui. Novembro, 19 de novembro de 2019. Shenmue é clássico, né,
So
bicho,
many
dos
people have been waiting for
consoles.
Shenmue 3. I would like to once again thank you
Ele
so
saiu,
much.
acho
Thank
que
you,
tá
Yusan, for
YouTube
joining
na
us today.
época.
Thank you.
Cheers.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you.
Muito obrigado, até mais.
Now our next
Vai,
title
bora.
is near and dear to my childhood heart. It's based upon a game I grew up playing called Heroes of Might and Magic 2. Let's
Heroes
take a
of
look
Might
at an
and
upcoming collaboration between Coffee Stain Studios and Lava Potion.
Cara, tem um jogo de tipo de Kung Fu também que é muito bom. Eu finalizei ele no 360. Eu não lembro o nome. Dogs. Sei o que, Dogs. Eu não lembro, velho. Jogaço, velho. Muito bom mesmo. Ele é GTA-like, só que de porrada, é muito massa. Que Dogs. Sleeping Dogs. Muito bom mesmo. Você aprendeu os combos lá de Kung Fu, era massa. Gostei da música. Mas não é bem o joguinho que eu curto. Uma poesiazinha rolando, meio trovadoresco, meio bardo cantando. Songs of Conquest. Aventura, jogo de aventura e estratégia.
The name of the game is Songs of Conquest, and here to join me in talking about it is the lead designer from Lava Potion, Carl Toftfeld. Hey, Carl.
Hi, hey, thanks.
I mean, let's just start off for anyone who maybe hasn't played the Heroes of Might and Magic series. What is Song of Conquest all about?
It's all about, well, you kind of start out with in the town that you just saw in the end of the trailer, and from there you recruit your wielders, it's what we call our commanders, and you recruit an army, and then you kind of send off your wielders on an adventure. And they go exploring the world, they pick up resources to flag mines, and with those resources, you upgrade your town so you can get more stuff, and that's kind of what you do. Adventure and strategy combined.
Yeah, and you know, I know that part of the core loop is obviously get the resources to build up the township, but for what reason? Armies, man. Talk to me about those juicy battles.
Yeah, so the battle, just like the whole game, is turn-based. So you go into combat, you bring all your troops in, and you start by deploying them, and then all the troops have different stats, like offense and defense and health.
Tem os status das
They go in
tropas
initiative order,
e
and
tal.
then you slug it out, and it's a bit like chess, but instead of like pawns and bishops,
Tipo
you have like
xadrez,
Ordwans and
mas
face spirits.
turno, né,
Great.
pô?
And griffins and so on.
Yeah, and all those things.
And well, you know, as someone who just loves the Heroes of Might and Magic series, I know that you have translated a lot of the gameplay elements into Songs of Conquest, but what are some of the modern elements that you're bringing in?
Well, there's a lot of it, but I mean, one of them is our magic system. We call it the essence. So basically, in the Songs of Conquest universe, everything has an essence within there. It's sort of like the soul. So your troops, they have an essence. And to do magic, you need to bring the troops with the right essence, with your wielders' skills.
I see.
So if you want to like make your troops go faster, you need to bring a troop that has that essence, like cavalry.
And maybe to ask a basic question, what if my opponent kills that cavalry?
Then you can't do the magic. So,
I see, okay.
Yeah, so if you're fighting someone, you kind of have to like weigh the pros and cons of what to kill off. Like, do you want to destroy their magic or their powerful troops?
Mano, o jogo é de estratégia, pô. É lógico, cara, tem que pesar os prós e os contras pra fazer as coisas. O jogo de
Late
estratégia.
2020?
Oh, it's quite a ways off.
It's quite a ways off, but you can go to songsofconquest.com and sign up for alpha, and then you can play earlier.
Well, as you know, I'm really looking forward to playing it, Carl. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you.
Now, our next title is an update to a popular co-op game. Let's see what's in store for Vermintide 2.
Jogo de cooperativo. Vermintide. Cara, eu tô meio apreensivo, velho. Porque assim... Papai, o lobisomem. Porra. Nova ameaça, cidadão. Aconteceu.
You just saw the reveal of the new PvP mode coming to Vermintide 2, which turns the Warhammer Fantasy cooperative game into something even more brutally competitive. It looks deliciously vile, and surely dismembering Scraven is so much more satisfying when you know you're going ham on a fellow player, making him or her cry little baby rat tears behind their computer screen. You can sign up now for the Vermintide 2 versus beta at vermintide2.com/version.
Pode assinar pela versão beta dele
In
já.
Paraspora, you're an artificial consciousness orbiting
Cara,
Mars,
eu vou dizer uma
whose
coisa.
ultimate
Eles
purpose
colocaram
is to
duas pessoas para fazer a apresentação
starting
desses
from a
jogos
single
no
drone
PC.
in your
Essa
landing
dona e
site
aquele
and turning
rapaz
the
lá.
planet into a flourishing second
Eles devem ter
home
pago
for
muito bem, viu,
humanity.
velho? Porque eles realmente
Courtesy of
interpretam
developer
uma
Dawn
empolgação
Industries and
que eu não
publisher
sei de onde é que
Valkyrie.
vem.
Here's a
Verdade.
first ever look at Paraspora.
Muito massa! Os bonequinhos lá fazendo estratégia e tal.
Was not humanity's greatest achievement. transferring the complexity of the human mind to machines
Transferindo a complexidade da mente humana para a máquina foi
where we failed.
Se nós
So they can build us a home
eles podem
on
construir
that
nosso lar
distant, dusty rock.
numa terra
Today,
distante.
Amy reaches
Uma pedra
Mars
distante.
and begins their mission.
Amy
Are you with
chegou
us?
em Marte. Amy, você está conosco?
Of course, I'm with you,
Sim,
Houston.
eu estou com vocês, Houston. Per aspera.
In the Assassin's Creed universe, our next guest sent players back in time to rewrite history.
Whoa,
but for his
Assassin's
debut project
Creed.
with indie studio Panache Digital Games, he's going to take us back 10 million years to where humanity began. Here to tell us all about ancestors is creative director and co-founder Patrice Desilets. Welcome, Patrice.
Thank you for having me. I'm really happy to be here. I've been waiting 10 years to come back on a big stage at E3 showing off a game.
Well, it's fantastic to have you back. I just want to ask, what inspired you to tell the story of human evolution?
Well, when I started Panache, I needed a game, an open world game in which you can do a lot of things. You need a character in a 3D environment at first. And I said, oh, I'm the historical guy, I'm the historical dude, so I need an historical period. They said, oh, let's go back at the very beginning. It'll be easier to do, because I won't have to build a city, I won't have to build technology, and I was a bit naive, because we built Africa 10 million years ago. And that's not easy to build.
It doesn't sound easy. I mean, how have you turned those themes into gameplay?
Well, you play our last common ancestor, right, of all the big apes, and then you have to explore your environment, and eventually you expand your territory, you expand your clan, because you're not playing that one badass character. You play a group of badass characters. And eventually you evolve into different species, up until Lucy the Australopithecus roughly 2 million years ago.
I imagine our ancestors had a lot more issues to deal with than we do today. There's going to be a lot more dangers in this world, so tell me a bit more about those.
Well, it's all about from a prey to a predator. Basically, at the beginning of the game, everybody is there to kill you and devour you. And basically at the end, it's pretty much you, who you're the predator and everybody's afraid of you. And that's the idea of ancestors, the humankind odyssey.
So, Patrice, ultimately, what is the key to evolving your clan successfully?
Curiosity. You need to explore, because, you know, I made a game about characters and you needed to follow the story I wrote for you. This time, you're basically writing the story. Right? There's no story per se inside. It's not about going and see mission givers. It's not about looking at the mini maps and the little dots. It's about you, hey, Homo sapiens. Can you survive like our ancestors did? And that's the question I'm asking the players. It'll be for you to answer that question August 27th.
Você pode responder em agosto
on PC first.
I was going to ask you when we can see it, and you answered my question first. Thank you so much, Patrice.
Por incrível que pareça, esse foi o jogo que eu achei mais interessante até agora. Você vai jogar com o ancestral, primata e vai ter que se virar pra sobreviver, velho. Mano, Chivalry. Auto Chess.
Please welcome to the stage, Loring Lee, founder and CEO of Dragon Nest.
Indeed, Auto Chess has turned out to be a sensation, with hundreds of thousands, millions of players getting a taste of it. And here to talk about its coming to PC is Loring Lee. Take it away, Loring.
Yeah. Hello, everyone. I'm Loring Lee. Yeah.
Prazer, cara.
Hello, yeah. I'm the CEO and founder of Dragon's Game. Dragon's Game is a game developer and publisher, comes from China. I'm so happy to be here today on this stage to introduce our game, Auto Chess, to all of you. This is really an exciting moment for us. As the trailer says, this is a real engaging game of Auto Chess. Dragon's now is working with the creator of Auto Chess, Jodo Studio. We are working together to bring Auto Chess to the world, both on PC and mobile, so that everyone from anywhere with any device can enjoy the same fun of Auto Chess. Now we are building the PC version by using the gaming engine of Unreal Engine 4. As everyone knows, Unreal Engine is one of the best gaming engines of the world. With the help, of
das melhores para esse tipo de jogo.
By the power of Unreal, I believe we can finish our job quickly and efficiently. And today, I'm very glad to announce the PC version of Auto Chess will be coming to the Epic Game Store. I look forward. I look forward to all of you playing Auto Chess on PC later this year. Okay, thank you everyone.
Thank you, Loring Lee.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks so much for sharing the news with us. Once again, Auto Chess, if you have not played it, you must check it out. It is so fun. Our next title with Frankie up above, I understand is an inspired indie game.
We'll find out, Sean, because one of the things we love about PC gaming is the way that game creators from all over the world can draw inspiration from one another's work. Chris Tales is a great example of that. A gorgeous indie love letter to classic JRPGs developed by a team in Colombia. Chris Tales' spin on the genre brings a unique perspective that lets you see the past, present, and future on one screen at the same time. So you'll see the future change based on your decisions in real time. Here's the world-exclusive reveal of Chris Tales.
If you saw what was, what is, and what would be. If you knew how it ends, would you change it? Could you make the hard decisions? And would you be strong enough to fight?
Passado, presente, futuro.
If you learn from the past and act in the present, you can rewrite the future.
Chris Tales.
in PC gaming. It's not the size of your weapon, it's how you use it. And I'm holding one of the, well, quite frankly, it's a bit average, isn't it? It's just your average, you know, Glock, really. No, it's one of the ridiculous alien weapons from our next game, Valfaris, a brutal, heavy metal-infused 2G action platformer inspired by true old-school classics like Contra and Turrican. Assuming the role of fearless warrior Therian, players must blast and slash their way through the doomed citadel of Valfaris, overcoming its deadly environments and enemies before challenging the arcane evil at its very heart. Get ready to rip the galaxy a new wormhole. From publisher Big Sugar, this is Valfaris.
Valfaris. Contra já fazia isso aí da década de 80.
Just incredible action in the Valfaris trailer. I'm very excited for our next guest. In case you have not been in downtown LA, E3 is covered with Borderlands 3 art. It's amazing, it's beautiful. And joining me is the amazing and beautiful Paul Sage, creative director of Borderlands 3.
Beautiful's a new one.
Yeah, there you go, Paul. Welcome. I mean, there's been so much hype around Borderlands 3. What's the stuff you're really excited to be sharing this year at E3?
Oh man, so you know, we've talked about our Vault Hunters. Well, this time we get to talk about Mose. And she is our gunner vault hunter, so she has a big mech, so it's one of the things. All about loot. We're talking about, you know, the different loot, such as shields, grenades, those things, going to different planets, so a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, I mean, I want to start right off with Mose. Tell us everything you can about her.
Okay, yes, I'll tell you everything I can. So Mose, again, like I said, she's a mech pilot. She has this big mech, it's called Iron Bear. She gets into Iron Bear.
Yeah.
You know, we have multiple action skills, which means that she can equip either a minigun or a railgun or a flamethrower. You know, if you want to barbecue your enemies, something like that.
Oh,
so,
nice.
You
Mix
know,
and match.
yeah, Mose is a terrifically fun
Vocês
character.
gostam de Borderlands, galera?
Now, we've been excited to be collating a whole bunch of community questions. We're going to break them into two categories. First, there's a whole bunch of repeat questions that I want to make sure we get to right now. One of the big categories is about loot, because you mentioned having a billion guns earlier, but what can you tell us about some of the other gear, the other progression systems in the game?
Yeah, so let's talk about grenades, like one of my favorite things that we don't get to talk about a lot. So in the past, we've had grenades that they've had like one thing. They can bounce, they can stick to different things, you know.
Yeah.
This time, we're combining like all of those things. So for instance, the other day I was playing and I threw a grenade and that grenade had a bounce, it would stick, an explosion would come out, and the grenade would fire guns as it was going through, right? So we have like a ton of different grenades that are in there.
Whoa, 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 whoa. What the?
Shield where if you duck, that shield will extend out in front of you, you know, so just tons of different things that we have with our characters. Class mods are unique, and that they give you skills this time as well as enhancing skills you currently have.
I also remember earlier you mentioned about artifacts. What are those?
So artifacts are, you know, we've kind of concentrated on like, hey, does the game feel fluid? Can I, you know, slide into things? Can I jump? Can I mantle? Right. So when we were playing with that, we slid into a barrel, right? And the barrel exploded, and we're like, well, that's kind of fun.
Yeah.
So why don't we do something like that? So our artifacts actually add certain things to movement. So for instance, you can slide faster. You can slide, and every time you slide, there's an explosion. We have something we call.
Tá dando pau lá, viu, na internet dele lá, viu? É com eles, viu, galera?
Second category of questions unrelated to loot. Well, there's going to be a single-player campaign. What's going to be happening after the campaign? What are some of the beyond the single player, maybe end game content that you can talk about?
All right, end game content. Okay, well, it's E3, so I'll give a little bit. So we have this thing what we call the Guardian system. So for those people who played Borderlands before, you might remember badass ranks. Badass ranks, you can get, you know, it's basically kind of an infinite progression system that added to your stats.
Yeah.
We doubled down on that. We have what we call Guardian rank. And Guardian Rate not only has that infinite progression, but it has skills and different skins that you can open up as you go through. And the cool thing about that is like every character that you play on that account gets the benefits of Guardian Rate.
Oh, interesting. Right. All right, last category we're going to go through, and then we're going to hit some rapid fire questions. How do the boss fights in Borderlands 3 compare to Borderlands 1 and 2? I know those were big aspects. How do you build?
Quais são os aspectos
so I think
da
a
luta
boss fight,
que vai fazer diferença
I'm an old school Nintendo fan, right? So I love huge boss fights that have like 3 phases and stuff like that. So now those people, smart people in the audience know that we've talked about going to vaults instead of vault, right? And so there are different like huge boss encounters there that are just multi-phase boss encounters. We have like a lot of different mini bosses throughout the game, so a lot of different boss encounters throughout the game.
Well, now I want to ask some really quick questions that should be yes or no, very brief. First from Castro, how will you be handling multiplayer?
Multiplayer, we will basically be allowing anybody to jump in at any time.
Todo mundo pode entrar a qualquer momento.
MHL Animations, can I pet the gun? Great question.
I'm not here to judge what you do with your gun, so that's a personal question.
All right, great. Sam Wiseman asks, is Maya's new companion a siren?
People are asking the right questions. That's what I will say about that.
Oh, you tease.
Sorry.
All right, from Ironic Sanguine says, is Tiny Tina going to be seen fighting alongside the Vault Hunters?
Yes.
Lutas através do Vault Hunters.
All right, I'm just going to blast through a couple more as fast as I possibly can. What's the level cap at launch?
50.
Will we get to see Flak?
Yes.
Will we see golden keys and/or shift codes for Borderlands 3?
Absolutely.
Will there be duels?
Yes.
Other kinds of PvP?
Outros tipos de PvP?
Yes and no.
Sim e não.
And also maybe.
And
perfect.
Maybe,
Also maybe.
And will you be able to transfer weapons between your characters?
Absolutely, right from the start.
Perfect.
Sim, logo no
and
começo.
when is the damn game coming out?
E quando é que o jogo
Friday
sai?
the 13th, 2019, September 13th.
Sexta,
Perfect.
30 de
Borderlands.com for more information. Thanks so much for joining me on stage.
John, thank you.
Ele pode falar algumas coisas, né? Ficou...
And once again, if you have not seen all the setups in downtown for Borderlands 3, they're beautiful.
Guardando as coisas,
Our next game, we're going to be revisiting a guest that we saw earlier in the show. He's upstairs with Frankie. What you got for us?
Oh my God.
Oh, hi, we're live. Sorry. Hello, I was just, I was actually testing out my outfit for this weekend. I don't know, what do you think, John?
I think you look really sharp, as always.
Very sharp. Well, thank you so much. John Gibson, president of Tripwire, thank you for joining us again on the show.
Yeah, very excited to be
busy
here.
man, yes.
Yes.
Now, last year, we revealed Man-Eater to the world. And can you remind anyone who missed it what the game's all about?
Absolutely. Man-Eater is an open-world action RPG, or Shark PG as we call it. You start as a small baby shark pup, and you have to survive in this harsh world and try to eat your way to the top of the ecosystem. There are 3 words that we think sum the game up the best are eat, explore, and evolve. And we also have someone we'd like you to meet.
Well, let's meet him then. Let's take a look at the new trailer.
Vamos ver o novo trailer. Você joga tubarão, velho. Flag. Mississippi Queen, viado. Mutei por causa da música, viu, povo? Se você chegar mais perto com essa câmera... What the hell, man? Man-Eater.
John.
Você joga com tubarão, velho.
Who was that appallingly dressed fisherman in the trailer? Because quite frankly, not even I would eat him.
That was Scaly Pete. And Scaly Pete's the villain in this tale. Pete is a best fisherman in the Gulf, the best shark fisherman, or he'll tell you he's the best shark fisherman. And
que
he
aparece
disfigures
no trailer é
our
o
baby
tipo vilão
shark
que vai
at the beginning of the
caçar
game
tubarão,
and does some really nasty things. So he's not a very nice guy. And now the story of Maneater is told through the lens of a reality show called Shark Hunters versus Maneaters. And it follows Pete and the player shark on its adventures. And you know, it's a really, you know, it's a very exciting way to tell a story.
And based on that trailer, to be honest, John, it looks like your main goal of the shark is to just bite everything.
Yeah, there is an awful lot of man-eating going on in this game. That is the name of the game. And but we like to think of the game as a shark-tastic fun action game. It's like GTA if you were a shark. But there's there is more to the game than just eating. So we spent a lot of time moving through the water, breaching out, and adding abilities to go up on the beach for an afternoon snack. There's a lot of exciting things that you can do in the game.
And you mentioned before it's a shark PG. How does that progression system work?
So there's 3 facets to the shark PG elements of the game. There's growth, there's life phases, and there's evolutions. So growth comes about through eating things, nutrients, people, whatever you can find. And that's kind of like your XP in the game. That allows you to level up, your shark will grow a little bit, you'll get more powerful. And then at key phases, we call life phases, you'll make a big jump. So let's say you're a brooding teenage shark and you're about to become an adult. When you become an adult, you take a big leap in size, a big leap in power and capability. And then as you reach these life phases, you unlock evolutions that can be applied to parts of the shark's body. For example, you could get metallic teeth that allow you to shred boats, or a powerful tail that allows you to jump to incredible heights, or you could get mutated lungs that allow you to spend a little more time on the beach getting those afternoon snacks.
Just really quickly, John, everyone's wanting to know this question. When's it coming out?
So we're really hard hammerheading away at this game and trying to make it the most awesome shark RPG ever. We're not ready to announce a date, but we're pretty certain you're going to see it before the next PC Gaming Show.
Well, I hope we do, John. Otherwise, I'm going to have to start biting people. In fact, I'm quite hungry at the moment, so I think actually I'm going to find an audience member because you guys look tasty. So I'll see you in a bit. I'm just going to have a snack. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
Cadeiras com bruto.
You know, one of the absolute best parts about being sponsored by iWin for the PC Gaming Show is that I get to sit for this next segment and talk to you about Terraria. Terraria is one of the best-selling PC games of all time, selling almost 30 million copies. And part of the reason why it's maintained such popularity is the fact that the developers Relogic continue to add content, going from 250 items at release to now over 4,000. Let's take a look at their penultimate expansion coming up, Terraria Journey's End.
Nova expansão de Terraria. Alguém aí joga Terraria, meu filho? É um joguinho meio esquisito, na verdade. Terraria. Travou.
The next title that we're going to be looking at is a game that is the spiritual successor to her story. It's called Telling Lies by Annapurna Interactive, and joining me to talk about it is game director Sam Barlow and actor-producer Logan Marshall Green. Welcome, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Nice to be here.
Yeah.
My main man.
Now, if you haven't played Her Story, you totally should. It's fantastic. I want to note, it is a game where you watch live interactive video in order to uncover what happened with a murder. What is it that's going on in Telling Lies? What's the premise?
So, like Her Story, Telling Lies is a game in which you watch video footage to piece together a story. And this time we have a woman who has stolen an NSA hard drive, which contains secretly recorded, intimate and private conversations between our 4 characters. Something has gone terribly wrong, and it's up to you to figure out what and why.
It's time to take a look at some of the gameplay mechanics and see Telling Lies in action. Let's take a look.
Once upon a time.
It's late. I gotta get her in the bath. I don't love you and I don't miss you. You already know too much.
Usa as palavras dele pra descobrir a verdade.
It's late. I gotta get her in the bath. Love you. Love you.
I've only ever been in love once. It was with a girl I met when I was 18, but I was too young and naive to handle it properly. I guess I still carry a torch for it, which makes me an incurable romantic or underdeveloped emotional.
Descobrir o que é que rolou, né? Alguma merda aconteceu, você tem que contar as peças. Um jogo de puzzle, baseado nos fatos que você vai vendo. Se for bem roteirizado, é inteligente. Pode ser um jogo inteligente e interessante. Telling Lies, o nome do jogo.
Oh, Sam, I got some questions for you about what we've just seen. Talk to me about the mechanics. I saw, subtitles up, highlighting, and it was loading more video footage. What's going on?
So what we do in Telling Lies is we take all of the exploration you would have in a normal video game. So all that walking around in a 3D world.
Yeah.
And we apply that directly to the story, to the footage itself. So you're going to be scrubbing around in these clips, paying close attention, and you're going to be picking up on the subtext, listening to names, people, places. And with that information, you're going to use that to find more clips, dig into those, and over time kind of build up this picture of the story. And it's truly like an open world video game.
Well, a lot of times with open world video games, they talk about the square kilometerage or miles in America. What's the sort of scope that we're talking about? Like, how many hours of footage is there?
So we got over 10 hours of footage here.
Wow,
so
really?
It's a story that encompasses 2 years. What I wanted to do with this one was, like I say, really embrace this idea of it being an open world game. You're free to explore and follow your curiosity. Just lose yourself in this story.
Yeah.
All the characters. It's this huge, messy, colorful story that we're trying to tell.
Well, I'm curious, Logan, as a performer in this kind of game, what is it like to actually try to have all the layers in there for each performance, also not knowing when a player is going to be seeing the specific footage you're performing?
Well, it's definitely a non-linear open world game, but our approach and Sam's approach was not unlike a movie or a TV show, and we had to understand it A to B. And so, for the most part, that's how we shot it. Obviously, when you're shooting a movie or a TV show, and in this case, a game, you're going to be shooting out of order. But we actually stayed pretty linear in how we approached the story. We went after it like all the other times we're actors. We just went after intention and what do we want, and we tried to make it as deep. It's got a lot of scope. But we wanted to make it as deep as possible, and Sam is one of the best movie or TV directors I've worked with, so it was very similar.
Nice. Yeah, look at you two. Now, of course, I do want to stress to any of you, if you have not played Her Story, it's quick to play through. It's absolutely brilliant. Please check it out in the meantime. But
Her Story, outro jogo
we're, of course, waiting to find out, when can we play Telling Lies?
Very soon, I promise. We'll have a date soon. Right now, you can go to Steam. You can wishlist it on Steam. We all love Steam. And yeah, very soon. We'll be showing a little bit more during E3.
Ele disse que vai ser breve, que vai ser lançado, mas não fala a data.
play it.
As soon as humanly possible. Well, Sam Logan, thanks so much for joining me on stage. Once again, telling lies.
Beleza, falou muito e nada ao mesmo tempo. Telling lies.
Now, up on the balcony, Frankie's going to be talking to us about a game that my friends, year after year after year, keep telling me I have to play because of how much they've improved it. Frankie, what's going on with Warframe?
Well, one of my favorite parts of last year's show, aside from being upstaged by a giant duck, was getting a glimpse at the future of Warframe. And here with the latest look at the next expansion to the universe is Space Mum Rebecca Ford. So, chat, behave yourselves, please, because Mother's here. Now, Rebecca, what are we about to see?
We're going to take a look at an amazing trailer that our team has put together. A lot of our players have been waiting a year for a look at what we've been calling Railjack, so it's about time to, you know, see what we've been doing.
Yeah, let's take a look.
Dá uma olhada aí nesse trailer que ela vai mostrar. Warframe. E aí, boa tarde, Márcio Oliveira. Como é que tá? Passa a frente. Eu joguei uma vez Warframe. Jogo de tiro e tal. Futurista. É brabo, isso aí é brabo.
Rebecca, it must be so exciting to know that the fans have finally seen it, and you're clearly going all in on the epic space combat. So tell me about the new stuff that players are going to be able to experience.
I wasn't shaking before we started talking, and now I am because it's real, because, you know, Empyrean is what we're calling codename Railjack. It's basically taking the Space Ninja part of Warframe, sending it back up to space, bringing players that squad gameplay they know, taking the enemies like the Corpus and the Grineer, giving them their own Railjack to essentially explore the solar system with and take down the bad guys.
And when are fans going to get to see more?
Well, TennoCon is in London, Ontario. It's July 6th, and you can come watch it online on Twitch. We're going to be showing a lot more in our keynote for what Empyrean is going to to be.
Well, today I'm getting a feel for the suit, so what's the deal with that sweet-looking Necros Prime? How do I get my Tenno arms into it?
I cannot say that on live television, but, you know, there are ways. But yeah, you just have to link your Warframe account to your Twitch account. If you watch 30 minutes of our Tenno live show, you can get it, but hopefully you stay for the whole hour, because we got lots to show.
Well, thank you so much, Rebecca, and good luck with TennoCon on July 6th.
Thank you.
Okay, now we've seen some amazing stuff today, but nothing quite so gloriously strange as our next game. Developed by Brooklyn-based studio Feral Cat Den, it's an existential-based jazz odyssey set during the Big Bang. Yeah, it's actually blowing my mind learning about this one.
Big Bang.
Buckle up, everyone, because we're about to get bonkers with Genesis Noir.
Genesis Noir. Eita, pô. Joguinho conceitual. Esse jogo deve ser muito pirado, velho. Genesis Noir. Noir. Sim, algumas características do cinema noir, né? Se forem colocadas no jogo, você vai ter coisas como voice over, né? Que é uma característica do cinema noir. Atmosfera sombria.
Genesis Noir, beautiful stylish art. Next game we're going to take a look at is the twist on the stealth genre. It's called El Hijo, where you play as a 6-year-old trying to escape a monastery and find your mother using toys and tricks to avoid monks. Let's take a look at this gorgeous spaghetti western-inspired project from Studio Handy Games.
É o que você joga com... Tá no monastério preso, você tem que escapar. Foi entregue aí com 6 anos e tal. O que tá acontecendo com os lançamentos de jogos desse ano, velho? A Microsoft... eu tenho que fugir, ó. Olha. Ah, pega o moleque. Pegado. Ah, esse tipo de joguinho eu acho legal, velho. Acho legal. Fugir e tal, pá. Interessante. A conferência da Microsoft foi muito, esquisita. Uma baladeira o moleque tem. El Hijo, o filho.
El Hijo, once again, is the title of the trailer we just saw. For our final guest tonight, please join me in welcoming from Larian Studios CEO Sven Vinke, and from Dungeons & Dragons at Wizards of the Coast, the creative director of Dungeons & Dragons, Mike Merles, to talk about Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3. Último convidado para falar sobre isso. Baldur's Gate 3.
Now, this was only just recently announced. How did this partnership come about?
We went to see Wizards of the Coast at the end of Divinity Original Sin 1.
Yeah.
That was back in 2014. And I tried to convince them back then that they should give us the Baldur's Gate 3 license. And they said, yeah. But we had a long chat about what the vision would be for the game.
Porque Baldur's Gate é da Wizards of the Coast.
We kept on bumping into each other. And then suddenly in 2016, I get a phone call from Nathan Stewart, who's the big boss of Mike and the head of Dungeons & Dragons. He said, you need to come to Seattle right away. We're going to have dinner in a very shady restaurant. And he had this big stack of paper with him. And on it was Baldur's Gate 3. And in it was pretty much everything that we talked about. And he says, I'm going to present this to my board. Do you still want to do it? I said, yeah, of course I still want to do it. And then a couple of weeks later, we started negotiating. And here we are.
I mean, what does the Baldur's Gate franchise mean to you, Mike?
Oh, to me, it's the crown jewel of D&D computer games, right? I mean, for me personally, Baldur's Gate, the original one, was finally I had the chance to actually play a D&D campaign rather than having to run them for all my friends. So it means so much to us. Baldur's Gate, it's such fantastic storytelling. And it's so exciting to see it come to not only a new generation of gamers, but for the gamers who remember the 20 years it's been since the original first two in the series. So it's incredibly exciting. And for us, it's such an important part of the D&D mythos as a whole.
And we got a chance to see the trailer. Talk to me about some of the story elements, the world elements. What are things we're going to see in Baldur's Gate 3?
Well, we're only talking about what's in the trailer right now, but obviously you're going to go to the city. You start outside of the city, actually. There's going to be mind flayers. They're very nasty. You are seeing in the trailer the process of ceremorphosis, as we call it. It's accelerated, so that's not normal.
Yeah.
And you're going to see a lot of iconic creatures, iconic characters, iconic places, and that's as far as we go.
I'm curious about some of the gameplay elements, because obviously there's been a big resurgence of Dungeons & Dragons, tons of broadcasts on Twitch. I mean, how do you translate some of the insane things that players want to do into what has to be a structured computer game?
So we started with the player handbook, which is basic rules of Dungeons & Dragons.
Which player handbook? Which
edition? 5th edition. 5th edition.
Right.
And so we ported as much as we could to the video game. We looked at what worked really well. We looked at the things that didn't work that well.
Eles realmente se basearam no jogo de RPG.
And so we started modifying those things, and then we had to add things on top of it, because if you play tabletop, you have a game master, and you say, well, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And then the
I
game
want to start a fight with a pigeon, and he's like, okay, roll for dexterity.
Exactly, that's it. So we had to add systems to make that possible within the game. But we've gone very, very far.
Yeah, I mean, can you give an example of like a crazy moment that a player might do that you could actually play out in the game?
Well, I could, let's say that we get into a fight because you ask a nasty question, I don't want to answer it. And I take the chair over there, I put it on fire, smash it on your head. Well, just as an example.
It's just an example, this is fine, we're just talking,
These are things that we have to put systems into the game for to do it, which are not necessarily going to be described inside of the book.
Interesting. And I mean, like, Mike, in terms of your role, speaking to Larian Studios, you have tons of data of all the sorts of things that players do. What's the sort of information that you provide in assistance?
Well, really what it comes down to is providing the story support. You know, we think of Dungeons & Dragons, the universe of D&D. It's like a toy box for dungeon masters and players to go into and build their own stories. So working with Larian and working with Sven, a lot of it was just opening up that toy box and sharing it. And giving that kind of guidance, you know, like I remember one of our first meetings, we just laid out a map of
Baldur's Gate
and asking a lot of questions, like what kind of story do you want to tell, where do we want to go, what are the cool locations we always wanted to put in a game like this. And then in terms of the system support, you know, what does it mean in terms of the story for each character, for each character race, each character class, so that if you have your favorite class and it's in the game, you really feel like you're taking on that role that you love so much from the tabletop. It's really coming to life in an authentic way in Baldur's Gate 3.
And we're going to talk in a moment about, you know, Baldur's Gate 3 release dates and whatnot, but we have a second game that we want to talk about on a new technology known as pencil and paper. I understand that there is a tabletop prequel coming for Baldur's Gate.
Exactly. So in Baldur's Gate, we think there's one saga, all the different games coming together to tell one grand story of this city. So on September 17th, we're releasing our next tabletop campaign, Baldur's Gate, Descent into Avernus. And it is the next chapter in the Baldur's Gate saga.
Eles vão lançar suplemento de Dungeons & Dragons
Baldur's Gate games,
de Baldur's Gate, que vai ser prequel pro jogo de videogame.
History. It's been about 100 years since the events of Baldur's Gate 2. So this will give you a chance to check in on the city, to see what's going on, its current state, who the movers and shakers are. We also feature a complete levels 1 to 13 campaign that takes you from the mean streets of Baldur's Gate to the depths of hell itself. And sort of pose to the players a question, do you want to redeem Baldur's Gate or send it to damnation? So we're putting that right in players' hands.
Well, I have to ask Sven, it's a question on a lot of people's minds. What can you talk to us about expected release time frames?
So people have been waiting for it for a long time.
Yeah.
They're going to have to wait a little bit more when it's ready. This is the game that we want to play, so we want to make sure it's really, really good. And then when that's the case, then we'll release it.
Well, I know a lot of people have been waiting a long time. And I think I speak for a lot of people here when I say, take your time. If the Divinity Original Sin games are any indication of the quality, it's going to be fantastic and worth the wait. Gentlemen, thanks so much for joining me on stage.
Não tem previsão de lançamento, provavelmente na E3 do ano que vem a gente vai ouvir falar de Baldur's Gate.
Goodbye, guys.
Aí é que eles vão lançar a game.
Why are they leaving? Well, it's because the PC Gaming Show has officially concluded. Let's bring up on the stage the fantastic Frankie Ward. Come here, Frankie.
Hello. Well, thank you so much, Sean. Hasn't this audience been absolutely fantastic today?
Mano, a
Guys,
empolgação da plateia
thank you
já não é
so
muito
much
grande.
for coming out to the 5th annual PC Gaming Show. We want to give an enormous thanks to all of you who tuned in live. We want to, of course, thank all of you who personally showed up this morning, and of course the sponsors who helped make this possible. Epic Game Store, iWin, Frontier, Funcom, Paradox, Interactive, Hovercast, Perfect World, Rebellion, Tripwire, and Samsung. As you know, PC Gaming is a platform. It's not a publisher or developer, so these sponsors are essential for letting us put on this show every year. Thank you so much. And I gotta ask, Frank, any titles you're excited about?
Well, I do love a baby elephant, so definitely Planet Zoo, and slightly more awkwardly then I also want to eat things. Maybe elephants included, so Man-Eater, of course.
I'm personally looking forward to Songs of Conquest, and as you heard, there's games coming out all across 2019 and into 2020. We hope you all have a fantastic E3. It officially begins tomorrow. Big shout out to all the other press conferences. Hello again, Drop Frames. Good to see you 2 years in a row. We hope you all have a fantastic time at E3 and go play some games and make some friends. See you next year. Bye.
Até mais, até o ano que vem, até mais. Beleza, acabou. Acabou a conferência PC Gaming Show. Nada demais, né, de lançamento. Talvez aí alguns jogos conceituais. Eu achei interessante esses Gênesis no ar. Achei interessante aquele dos primatas que você joga com os caras que estão no início da formação da humanidade para sobreviver num mundo absolutamente inóspito, né, terrível. E deve ter sido muito difícil, convenhamos, para o alvorecer da nossa espécie ter sobrevivido. E graças a nós, graças a eles, nós estamos aqui, né? Mas muito RTS, muita coisa de estratégia e na verdade, eu acho que essa E3 está nos devendo, né? Está nos devendo. Eu volto com a conferência da Ubisoft para assistirmos juntos. Valeu, galera, e até mais tarde.